Hi guys, so today we will be dealing with negative exponents. Before we were dealing with situations like x squared, x to the third power, 2 to the fourth power. Now we'll be dealing with a situation just like this. 4 to the negative second power, x to the negative third power. Okay, and what do? We will be using the negative exponent rule. And we're going to derive it right now. But before that, I'm going to give you just a little story. Not a little story. I'm going to lead you to that. For example, if you have a number 4, you would agree that 4 is the same thing as 4 over 1. Okay? So any number is that number over 1. Okay? So now my 4 is going to be squared. It's the same thing as 4 squared over 1. Now I'm going to change it by saying that now my 4 is going to be to the negative second power, and it's over 1. Okay? So, little story. There is a party upstairs. There is a party downstairs. Seems like 4 is not really happy with its party. Why? Because, how do we know? Because it has negative exponent. Okay, negative power. So to make it happy, we going to bring it downstairs where it feels comfortable. And we're going to bring the 4 down. And this way, it's going to have a positive power. Okay. What's left on top? Okay, there was 1 on the bottom and it's still here. And what's left on top? Also 1. Then 1 stays on top and 4 to the second power is on the bottom. All we did was just multiplied 4 squared to 1. It's 4 squared. Okay. Now, let me give you another example. 3 to the second power, 7 to the negative third power. Okay, so there's party upstairs, there's party downstairs. Seems like 3 is happy because it has positive power. 7 is not happy because it has negative power, right? Negative 3 power, negative 3. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave this 3 to the second power upstairs. And then 7 is going to go up with a positive power, okay? And what's left on the bottom? 1 is left on the bottom. I'm not going to bother and calculate what that means, which I could. All it is 3 squared times 7 to the third power. So now, using that story that I told you about this, the happy and not happy numbers and variables, right, on the floors and in the parties. So now we're going to have this. X to the negative a power. So we see that x is not happy because it has negative power. Negative a is negative power negative. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring it down with a positive power. What's left on top? 1 is left on top. And this is our negative exponent rule that we will be using today in our class, our online class. Okay. So let me get a piece of paper. Hope I have it. Yes. And I'm just going to go over the problems on the worksheet. And the worksheets that we'll be doing today are negative exponents. So this is the front. This is the back of it. And there is a homework. Okay. And I'm going to download it online too, so that you can, in case you don't have it, you can have it. So I'm just going to go over a couple of, some problems, and I will just pick and choose which ones I'm going through. What you have to do, you have to write everything down what I write and solve all the problems that I don't solve. For that, you're going to get a classwork grade and homework grade. Okay. So problem number 1. Problem number 1. Let me just adjust my camera. Okay, problem number 1. X to the negative 5th power. Well, x is not happy, it has negative power, so we're going to bring it down, and 1 will stay on top, using the rule that we just went over. Number 3, -7, a to the -4th power, b to the 3rd power. Again, our goal is to get rid of negative powers. We don't like negative powers because the variables and the numbers are not happy when they have powers, negative powers, okay? So -7 is not my power, so -7 is going to be left alone, okay? So -7 is going to stay where it's at. B to the 3rd power is going to stay where it's at, but A was not happy with its negative power, so it's going to go down, okay? Number 5, 4 c to the 8th power d to the -3rd power times 5 c to the -5th power d to the -1st power. First, we are going to simplify the expression. We are multiplying our coefficients. 4 times 5 is 20. C to the 8th times c to the -5 is going to give me c to the 3rd power, because 8 plus -5 is 3. D to the -3rd power times d to the -1st power is going to be d to the -4th power. Well, we clearly see that d is not happy because it has the -4th power. So we want to make it happy by bringing it down, and the power becomes positive. Number 7, c to the -12, and then a to the 7th, b to the -3rd, c to the 7th power. Now here we have to simplify. So we have to multiply wherever we can. So a to the -5th till 8 by a to the 7th is going to give me a squared. If you still have trouble with the multiplication, please watch my previous videos, and I'm explaining there everything more, like the skills more. So I'm not going to get into too much details right here because it was explained before. So b to the 8th times b to the -3rd is going to give me b to the 5th power, c to the -5th power. Here I clearly see that c is not happy, it has negative power. So a squared and b to the 5th power stay on top, and then c to the 5th goes on the bottom. Number 9, 5y squared -3rd power. So 5, in this case, like we see the parentheses, and the stuff inside of the parentheses has to be raised to the -3rd power. So that's what I'm going to do. 5 to the -3rd power and y squared to the -3rd power, which is going to give me -6 power. So I clearly see that both of them, 5 and y, are not happy because they have negative exponents. So 5 goes down with positive exponent, same, and the y does the same thing. So 1 stays on top only. Here I can simplify. 5 to the 3rd power is 5 times 5 times 5 is 125, y to the 6th power. Number 11, 6x to the 5th power, y to the -4th, to the -2nd. 6, so we have to raise everything to the -2nd power, everything. I mean 6, x to the 5th, and y to the -4th power. So 6 to the -2nd, x to the -10th. Why? Because 5 times -2 is -10. Y to the +8. -4 times -2 is +8. So we see that y is happy. It has positive exponent. 6 wasn't. That's why we brought it down. And then x wasn't happy either. So that's why it's down now. Now y to the 8th power stays on top. 6 squared is 36. X to the 10th power. Okay, number 13 now. C to the -2nd power, d minus to the -1st, c to the 7th, d to the -2nd. Here, we can do it in different ways. What I want to do, I want to just have all the positive powers first. So c to the 7th is left alone. It's happy. It doesn't need to change the floors. C to the negative 2nd was not happy, so we brought it down. D wasn't happy to the negative 1st power, so it's going down with a positive. So D to the negative 2nd power wasn't happy, so it goes up. We changed the floor. It wasn't happy downstairs, so it goes upstairs. So now we can simplify. You see on the bottom, we see c to the 7th times c to the 2nd. So we multiplying these two and we adding the exponents. So it's c to the 9th. Now, what's happening here is d to the 2nd divided by d to the 1st. We subtract the exponents. 2 minus 1 is 1. So d to the 1st power is on top. Number 15. I'm going to copy it real quick. Okay, so coefficients, we just divide. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. And then m to the 2nd power over m to the 3rd power, it's 2 minus 3 is m to the negative 1st power. Here we have to be careful. Either we bring the n to the negative power on top, which will become n to the power to the 5th power, or we're just going to subtract the powers. So it's 1 minus, subtract because we divide, 1 minus negative 5. 1 minus negative 5 is the same thing as 1 plus 5. So n to the n to the 6th power, because 1 plus 5 is 6. Okay, so we clearly see that m is not happy because it has negative power. Negative 5 stays on top because this is not our power. This is a coefficient. So m goes down. Number 17. Just find my worksheet. Okay, so number 17. Okay, I will record the number 7. I will start with number 17 in my second video.